We'll start in France, where negotiations are still underway as the country's left-leaning political alliance tries to figure out how best to form a government. The New Popular Front, as it's known, came out on top in parliamentary elections 2 days ago, but does not have a full majority. Leaders from the bloc, that ranges from communists to environmentalists to moderate socialists, say they hope to come up with a name for prime minister within the week. In the meantime, the centrist French president Emmanuel Macron has asked his current prime minister, Gabriel Attal, to stay in the job, at least for now. We're going to talk more about all of this with Luc Brown, who is at the French National Assembly, where many of these new MPs are showing up today. Today's a big day, particularly for the New Popular Front. It's first ever at the National Assembly as a group. Luc, you've been talking to some MPs from the farthest left of the coalition, France Unbowed. First of all, what did they have to say going in?
Yeah, you're quite right. It is a very big day indeed for the New Popular Front here at the National Assembly. They're arriving in different party groups here at the Palais Bourbon. Earlier, we've already had the Greens, but we've also had that hard left France Unbowed MPs. Now, they consider themselves to be very much in a position of strength, given that they got over 70 seats. They are the biggest single party in the New Popular Front coalition. That gives them a position of strength when it comes to choosing the top jobs and choosing the top job of the Prime Minister, and puts them in pole position. Perhaps that could well be Jean-Luc Mélenchon. The candidates of the MPs here, they're not ruling his name out, but they are also putting forward other names. We spoke earlier with Mathilde Panot of the France Unbowed, recently re-elected in the Paris region. Let's take a listen to what exactly she had to say about the situation.
There's a tradition in this country that when there's a coalition made up of multiple parties and groups, it is the largest group in the National Assembly that proposes to its partners the name of a possible prime minister. That's what's supposed to happen. That's the Republic's tradition. But I can tell you that I'm waiting. We're discussing with our partners. Talks are going well and moving forward. By the end of the week, we will not only have a prime ministerial candidate, but we'll also have a government team that will include the top positions, which are namely those at the National Assembly.
OK, and of course there's also been a lot of talk about the potential divisions and splits within the New Popular Front already just a couple of days after those elections. Mathilde Panot indicating that any of the MPs from the other groups, if they were to go and talk to other centrist, for example, groups within the National Assembly, that would be considered a betrayal by her party, but also by the French people. A clear message then to the other members of the New Popular Front.
Right. And this coalition, again, just to remind everyone, ranges from the very far left to almost close to the center. What have other members of the alliance had to say so far today?
Well, in the next half an hour or so, we are expecting the Socialist Party to arrive. It's going to be fascinating to see what's going to be the message that they deliver to the journalists on their arrival here at the Palais Bourbon. Of course, it is a slightly strange situation that they emerged second biggest in the New Popular Front. But however, their dynamic is more on their side. They gained more seats in this new National Assembly than, for example, the France Unbowed. There have already been attempts from the centrists, the big guns in the centrists, from Stéphane Séjourné, the former foreign minister, François Bayrou, one of the historic centrist figures, was ready to peel away some of the social democrats from the New Popular Front. As things stand, we're not getting indication that that is something that the socialists are wanting to accept. They've been pretty unwilling to break ranks so far, keeping very tight-lipped, but we'll, of course, learn more about that. But from the other junior members of this new coalition, for example, some of the communist MPs we've been speaking to, they say they want a figure as prime minister who will bring people together and not a divisive figure. That means, for them, that probably rules out Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who has proved to be very divisive over this campaign season. And also, we've been speaking to the Greens. Now, they are another interesting party because they did a lot better than perhaps had been expected in Sunday's vote, with 33 MPs elected from the Greens. Their leader, Marine Tondelier, has been extremely vocal over the past couple of days. They've been a very voice of moderation, it has to be said, within the New Popular Front. Let's take a listen to Marie Pochon, an MP elected from the south of France, about why the focus is now less on the divisions within the party, but need to continue turning the page on the Macron era.
I think our responsibility today is to put a certain number of measures in place that break with the politics of these past few years, to do politics differently. We need to change the method, to listen, to show respect, to keep our promises and to think of each person regardless of where they live. That means a lot in regard to public services, healthcare, public schools, especially in our countrysides. I will fight for that.